So it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to try and speak a bit more quietly because I feel like it's a really still night. I feel like I'm going to wake up the whole neighborhood if I speak in my normal voice, but hopefully you guys can hear. 5 o'clock in the morning. I've woken up with, again, sore glutes, and also, in addition to that, I've got sore adductors. So I've kind of run out of limbs or muscles to train. So I didn't really know what to do. Going straight into a squat after, waking up like this is not going to be good. I'm not going to get positioned at all. So I thought I'll just jump on and do some quads. That's the only muscle group that's really feeling good. The hamstrings are feeling quite sore from yesterday. Adductors are sore, glutes are sore. The only thing that's not sore is the quad. So I'm going to train the quads. So basically I spent like half an hour on this machine here. I did several sets of 50. With light weight. I think this is 5 kilos, went up to 10 kilos. And I did a bunch of sets of 30 as well with a bit more heavier weight. I think I ended up putting 2 10-kilo plates there, so 20 kilos. I did that. That kind of helped me warm up a little bit, get the blood going. There's nothing, like in my opinion, there's nothing worse than having DOMs in the adductors. If I'm sore in the adductors, basically I can't hit depth. I can't hit anything. If I can't hit depth naturally and I force depth, then I round my back, my butt wink comes in, all that sort of stuff. So going cold into a squat on those days, it's not good. I've persisted previously and I've tried to, fight my way through a squat section. It just doesn't leave you feeling good at all. And especially with my history of hip pain, if you push weight in some of these compromised positions, it's not going to go well for you. So I decided to jump on the quad machine here, quad extensions, leg extensions, and I did a bunch of sets there. And by the time I ended up getting to the squat, I was feeling a little bit better. It's just something about blood. You get blood moving around, everything kind of starts feeling a little bit more fresher and warmer, and then the squat started feeling a lot better. So I did, pre-test. I tested it, then I tested afterwards, and just because I did this, my body weight squat depth improved. So if you guys are listening to this and you kind of have these days where you walk in, you feel like a brick trying to fall over, try that. Just basically anything really. For me it was this, but if you've got a stationary bike, jump on that. Elliptical, if you got that stair thing that I did the other day, do that as well. Just anything to get kind of some motion through the hips and knees goes a long way. And then, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. My last session was 10 hours ago, so I wasn't expecting wonders today, but when I got through this, I ended up getting to a squat that I kind of felt happy with. I hit 180 for one. Felt good despite all these damn DOMs that I'm feeling right now. The glutes are jacked, the adductors are jacked, the hamstrings are feeling sore as well. If I had to rank them, still number one is the glutes in terms of soreness, and then it's my adductors, and then it's my hamstrings. So basically everything that you use to squat is sore. So it's one of those days you come in and you want to put in a session, but the body's like, nah, we're not ready. So basically what I did with the squat today was I did the barbell for 10, 60 kilos for 10, and then from then on 100, 120, 140, 150, 170, and then 180, all singles. So basically no volume whatsoever. It's just purely skill acquisition, training the nervous system to, do its thing. And also I think this is really important. I've spoken about concurrent periodization before. My kind of style of periodization, if you will, is that you can have any sort of rep range that you want, but every session you have to hit some sort of training max. To me, that basically means that I stay fresh with heavy lifting, because if you go away from heavy lifting for, say, a month, say 4-week span, you become sloppy. And a lot of people have said your central nervous system kind of lets go a little bit. I like to also add to that your core. Bracing for a set of 10 or a set of 20 is different to bracing for a set of 1. When you lift a training max, it's a different type of thing. You grab air differently, you hold differently. There's just a different tension about you. So even though it might be a really poor, one rep training max, kind of like what I did today, 180, which is 25 kilos below my maximum. Still, I like to do it because it trains that core. It trains your ability to kind of, strain against a weight. This is one thing that I always kind of tell people. If you want to train for strength, it doesn't have to be eye bulging, hemorrhoid popping, neck vein popping kind of strain, but you need to have some sort of strain often, where you're lifting something kind of respectable. Even though I always say to you guys, reps is where it's at, and I don't like lifting heavy ass shit around 80% for multiple reps. I don't like that. That's just too taxing. You can do it, but maybe once a week kind of thing, nothing more. The majority of a squat everyday program, I believe, you should spend kind of like sub 50. The majority of your reps should come from there. But that doesn't mean there's no value in the singles at the top, definitely. Basically what I'm saying is I like to skip that middle portion, like 70 to 85%, even though it's the golden portion. In my experience, when you are squatting every day, those are your treats, if you will. You kind of go in, you have a bit, and then you get out, and then you kind of go a while before you have it again. Because that's the stuff that's going to rot your teeth. That's the stuff that's going to stop you from squatting every day. Grease the groove, for most of the time. Touch a respectable weight most of the time, and then once in a while, have a treat between 70 and 85%. That's my recipe for longevity. I know you guys have been asking about my program when it's coming out. I'm giving you kind of hints on what I'm thinking about. Eventually I will kind of tell you guys what I think is the best way to squat every day with, and it's always going to be more kind of geared towards longevity and health. I know there's programs out there that have you working hard like crazy, but if you're going to squat 500 days in a row, there needs to be some sort of thing involved. And then obviously on top of that, you can have periodization, block periodization, whatever you want. But the general gist for me is spend the majority of my time with lightweight, hit a training max so I know how to strain against the weight, and then occasionally 70 to 85%, some sort of rep range in there. I basically just worked up to a training max today. It felt good, it felt strong. Doing quads before squats is an interesting thing. You would think that it's pre-exhaustion, but for me, it's kind of like, so if you're struggling with kind of quad development, let's just say you're lacking quads, I think this is good to do before squats, the leg extensions, because it puts the quads on the map, right? So it puts your quads on your brain map. Your brain's like, oh, okay, we got a whole bunch of muscle here we can use for this activity that we're about to do. So it's kind of like activation exercise as well as, I guess you want to call it pre-exhaustion. For me, every time I do leg extensions before squats, all I want to do when I squat is use my quads. It's an interesting thing. Try it once in a while if you guys have never done this. Do some quads, do like sets of 30, 40, 50, high rep stuff, pump the blood, kind of like with the leg curl machine. I don't think this is a good idea to max out on these. Some people have talked about it's bad for your knees and whatever, but I think these machines are excellent if you just respect them for what they are and just do high reps. I don't think you can get hurt doing high reps, basically. But if you start, putting 30, 40, 50 kilos on this thing and start to kind of rep that out, your knees kind of like, I don't know, like it's a strange sensation because there's nothing else working other than your quad. And that's an unnatural thing. In a squat, your hamstring's working, it's under tension, your glute, your quad, tibialis anterior, everything's working. Like the whole system is working, and there's more stability at the joint because all the muscles are pulling in their own direction, and as a result, the net kind of force is stability, right? Like in a leg curl or leg extension, we're just isolating a muscle and we're pulling on a joint from one way. And I think this is where the injuries happen, and this is kind of what happened to me with the seated leg curl machine. You're isolating the hamstring in a vacuum. Like there's nothing else working. Like when the hell do you ever use a muscle like that? you never do it. You're running, you're climbing, you're squatting. There's a whole bunch of muscles pulling on that joint from all different sides, and as a result, there's stability. So yeah, try that out if you're struggling with quad activation. Put the quads on the map for your brain. Activate them. And yeah, and as you can see here, 181 times 1 kind of went all right for me. So after this voiceover, I'm probably not going to have any time, but I want to go back to the leg extension machine just to kind of finish off the quads. But today was supposed to be a Bulgarian split squat day, but I am just so damn jacked right now. No strength, heaps sore, so I don't think it would be a good idea for me to do it. So this is 180 times 1. Yeah, it moved quite well, especially considering that I had all that blood pumped into the quads. Anyway, guys, that's me. I'm gonna run in the house, get ready, go to work, earn some money. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.